Well, look at this. Oh my goodness. This is all uphill. So about a 25-minute walk that way from the port beginning is a metro that can take you all the way over to the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But this is far away, by the way, because once you get there, it's an hour train ride. So we are pretty far away from where we need to be. But I am going to show you how this port works here. So let's let me show you the other side of the ship here. So as you might know, I like to come up to the top of the ship, take a look out at the port and see what's this port all about before I go. But I do want to show you. So that was one side. Here's the other side where you actually disembark the ship. It is a shipyard and you cannot walk. You have to take the shuttle. So let me show you the shuttles down here. Well, I am up at the very top of the ship, so this does look far down. However, when you get off of the ship, you get on one of these shuttles. Now, some of these are probably excursions, by the way, but there are shuttles that take you to the front of the cruise area and just drop you off where, because I guess it's unsafe to walk here, so they don't let you walk on the port. So that bus right there will probably drop off everybody right over there at the beginning of the cruise port area. And then a lot of people are making that trek over to the metro so that they could go on the train for an hour to get to, okay, I'm gonna tell you what we're doing. Yes, we are going to take an excursion because I looked up the price for a taxi to get there, plus the train ride and back for two people. It's very comparable for the one that we're doing. We're doing one that is basically Pisa on your own, and they take you there. You have about an hour there. It's an hour drive plus an hour there plus an hour back. So it's about 3 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours at the most, depending on traffic is what they say. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go down there, get to the and see where our excursion is. Actually, I think we meet in the Royal Theater before we go. And so we have our tickets and that's where we're gonna go. So I decided to come to my balcony here on the Odyssey of the Seas and are getting ready for our Greek Isles cruise. This was a 14-night that we're on, and just going all the way over there, getting on the metro, leaving, coming back. You know, we have to be back by it's around 8:30 now. We have to be back by 5:30. The benefit of getting a short excursion with the cruise is that if you're ever late, they will wait for you. So this is, because it's so far away, you know, over an hour away, I decided let's go this route. And we have to meet at 8:30 in the Royal Theater, and so that's where we'll be. But yeah, and this one, there is a port that's closer, as you've seen on the earlier when I showed you on the map. But it depends on what port you're gonna be at. Like this one, which is closer to Florence, Italy, than Rome, Italy. So a lot of people actually are getting off at this cruise, or at this cruise port. They're getting off. They're not even going all the way to Rome. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because this is closer to where they want to be, I guess. And so, yeah, so let's get over to the Royal Theater and see how these excursions work. So basically, when you arrive, you check in here with your tickets, and then they tell you which sign to sit next to. You can see 34 there, 30, 29. So we'll see where we are. And then they release the groups. They call the group number. We're number 2. So we're sitting in number 2. We'll wait for them to call number 2. And then they'll take everybody with these stickers with number 2 to the to the shuttle.
Good morning. We're actually in Liguria. So this region is Liguria. We're traveling south into Tuscany. La Spezia often gets overlooked as a destination, and like for us today, it is a launching point to Pisa. But the this afternoon you guys are doing a half-day tour. If you felt like going for a wander into La Spezia, your ship runs some shuttle buses that will take you just outside the passenger terminal, and you can jump off and walk across into the historical downtown. There's Via Piatrone, there's shops, eateries. Also the Passeggiata Morin, where you will find all the little boats leave for the Cinque Terre. And as you will have seen, the port operates as both a commercial and a tourist port. And right down the far end, you have the military section. Now, on either side of the Autostrada, these wonderful, big, beautiful blocks of white marble. And in fact, it is one of the oldest and longest, biggest marble quarries in the world. And they have been extracting from here since ancient Roman times. So you will see that the rock, the marble, is famous for, it's mostly used in kitchen countertops and floor tiles, but also in some glycerin-based cosmetic products, some byproducts, pharmaceutical things like that. But it's well known for its sort of off-white grey colour, and it has a fine blue sort of grey veining or feathering through it. It's beautiful. And in fact, sculptor Michelangelo spent various periods of time here around Carrara and Pietrasanta, where he oversaw the quarry that was the quantity and the quality of the marble that was being quarried. So masterpieces like La Pietra Michelangelo, and of course this marble was used to construct and reconstruct Rome.
Well, we arrived, and let me tell you, there are a lot of buses here. Oh my goodness, there is so many buses. And so we're gonna walk with our group over to where the tower is. And from the bus parking lot, it's about a 15-minute walk, I believe. So we'll get there soon.
It's Mother's Day tomorrow. Is it the same in the US? Yeah.
It's like herds and herds of people going one way and the other, back and forth, and a lot of uneven sidewalk and crossing railroad tracks and different things like that. So bring your walking shoes.
Because we have like tropical and subtropical climate, and then
W tym jednym mieście.
Hola, amigo, más barato, amigo.
Okay, one thing that's very interesting once you get here, it does cost to use the restroom €1, and you have to use a card. They don't take euros or coins or cash or anything. But if you purchase something like a drink or whatever, you could use the restroom for free. So depending on how you want to do it. So you saw the video of the restrooms with all those people waiting. Those are people just waiting to use the restroom without buying something. So I think it's easier to buy something and use the restroom. But wow, this place, wow. So to enter the cathedral and go up the tower, I think it's like 27 euros. And you could buy it online, and there's certain times that you can purchase. And so there's like a package. You could do just the tower, or you could do the cathedral and the tower. And I think that one too, for like 27 euros. And this is where everybody does their little leaning and holding and pushing. Oh my goodness. But one thing, if you notice, that I heard that the clay and soil is what caused it to lean. And once they got to like the third level, they kind of knew it was leaning. And then they completed it, and they started to try to make it go this way. And so a lot of the top 3 levels are actually bent the other way, which gives it like a banana shape. I thought that was pretty interesting. So as you're taking your pictures, I would recommend standing in front of one of the pillars that you stand on, and then standing in line, you know, and then waiting for a half hour, pretty much, for people to take all their pictures. But you have to get on one of these things. And what's happening is, it's kind of interesting, is they're asking people to move, but they're waiting for the other people. So it's like every other pillar, because if you're on one pillar and somebody's on the next pillar next to you, see, they're just that far apart, then they can't take their pictures, you can't take your pictures if somebody's on that pillar. So it's kind of an interesting dilemma that people have for getting up and standing up on the pillar. So here's a couple shots that we took. Here's another little trick. Everybody is trying to, the camera person is stationary, and they're telling the people to move their hand and stuff like this. So like all the camera person needs to do is do that, right? So it's the camera person, not the person standing. Okay, I'm not an expert at this, but the camera person moves, you know? So the person that stands just poses, you know, they do their little pose, however they want to do it, right? And they're like, go forward, go forward. No, no, no. All you have to do is move it just like that. So once you get tickets, I hear that it is about 15 minutes to go up and 15 minutes to come back down. And we didn't have time to be able to do it because the earliest available thing was like an hour from now, and then we have to get going. So it's like the tickets, you have to buy the tickets in advance, know what time you're going to be here, and buy the tickets. You can really see the lean here. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there are some shops. Don't forget there's shops over here. So let's go look at those. So going all the way that way. So it's with the parade passed. So the parade was celebrating the new cardinal that's coming to this area based on the new pope, and they're celebrating there were a Catholic school that was doing a march all the way to the cathedral. So, whoa, check these out. Wow. So we're gonna go ahead and head back. Do you like my hat? Come on. Well, we're gonna go ahead and head back over by the other shops where we came in and where we meet our team or group or whatever. But wow, Amber got some earrings too. You got some earrings? I have them in my bag. So anyway, but yes, I like this hat because I bought it here in Italy. Well, before we go any further, we might as well. The prices out here are definitely better than the prices once you go inside there. Just so you know. Yes, better prices, not as expensive. Like these, $1 over there were what, $3? Well, euros. Well, I tell you the truth, I took a nap on the way back to the cruise ship, and it was the ride back. So when we got back, we wanted to take the shuttle right into the town, but apparently that costs money. And you can't walk in this port. So being that this place, La Sprenza, I think it's called, is not necessarily a port that you would go to. There's another one that's closer to the Tower of Pisa. And with that being said, we're just not doing the little trip into town. Usually I get a port tour of the town, but there's not a lot to see here. I could be wrong, but that's what I've been told by people that did pay for it. So, and they were just going to the metro to go over to where we went. So thanks for watching. By the way, subscribe if you would, and watch this video if you'd like to see more port tours and places that we've been, because you might go there too. Until next time, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.